Hey freak, welcome to this episode of Versus the Verse. It's the show where I teach you the things I know about Star Citizen. This time we're talking about salvage and tractor beams. I'm going to use this cool table I made to show you the times it takes. On the left hand side we're going to look at the time it takes to run from the pilot seat back to the salvage room. And on the right hand side we're going to do a few tests and record how long it takes to use the different tractor beams to load and unload in the reclaimer. Just giving you fair warning now, my tests aren't perfect, and there are a few mistakes included. Basically, at the end of the day, we work out that using a max lift inside the reclaimer and an atlas on the ground is the most efficient way to load and unload your reclaimer. For those who don't know, the reclaimer is a salvage capital ship. It costs $31 million. You can get it from Lawville. If you're using one of the smaller salvage ships, the Vulture or the Fortune, you can only print out one SCU crates, and so you don't really need to worry about the different levels of efficiencies that I'm talking about here. My reclaimer's name is Barry Blonkers. So we just finished making our way to salvage processing by taking the elevator. It's taken us 1 minute and 15 seconds roughly. It might seem good, but we can do better. Now it's time to start unloading with our multi-tool. As you can see, I'm printing out 16 SCU crates and using the auto function to make sure that it continues to print them out, without me manually having to click the eject button. As you'll see across the tests, I learned that there wasn't a huge difference between the handheld tools, but the Atlas is a mess to use inside the reclaimer, and I don't recommend trying to use it inside it at all. You're much better off using the max lift and then using the reclaimer in the hangar. I'm just going to speed things up here, otherwise it's going to be a very boring video. So fun fact about the reclaimer, its hopper can fit 240 SCU. Once it's full, you've got to go and unload it like we're doing here. Salvage missions can net you 240. The Starfarer is worth 300, so it will instantly fill up your hopper. Inside the salvage processing area, you can get pretty creative with your storage. As you'll see in the thumbnail of this, we've had some pretty interesting ways of storing the 16 SCU boxes. So we've stopped the timer here at 4 minutes and 45 seconds. That last box is printing out, but we don't need to remove that yet. So, multi-tool, 4 minutes, 45 seconds to unload 240 SCU from the hopper. Here we're going to check the speed it takes to take the ladder instead of the elevator, to get from the cockpit to the salvage processing. The longer you've been playing Star Citizen, the more you know that you shouldn't be trusting elevators at any point. Alright, considerably faster. We're clocking that in at 53 seconds. So you're saving yourself 22, 23 seconds taking the ladder instead of taking the elevator. Might not seem like much, but it adds up. Alright, now the beauty of unloading these boxes. I've found the best way to unload in a 16 SCU box from the reclaimer is to throw them at the back wall, making sure that they hit those support beams, and they just tend to slide down on their own. Now obviously you'll need to open all before you leave the cockpit, otherwise you're not going to be able to get them out. There is no control for that elevator or whatever you want to call it. I like to call it the anus. There's no control for the anus from anywhere except for the cockpit as far as I'm aware. If you know, please let me know in the comments. One thing that you'll also need to do is you'll need to go back up to habitation, go up to the cockpit, cycle the butthole to drop that last one out. You see it just pooped it out there. You can then jump straight out of the airlock onto the ground and continue. As you can see, the gameplay is riveting. But at 8 minutes 25 seconds, we've sent down the elevator. That's 240 SCU of construction materials, locked and loaded. We fast forwarded now, munched another 240, we've got the max lift. We're going to put these boxes aside. One of the things you'll notice with the max lift is that it's much easier to rotate the boxes. You'll be able to stack things up nice and neat. It looks better. You can fit more in, which is great because 240 SEU sold at Hurl 3, which is the closest location to Crusader to sell these at the best price, is 579,600. So every time you're unpacking this, you're making $500,000. Sadly, you can't take the Reclaimer to Hurl 3, and you will need to find either a friend to haul it for you or a cargo ship. Now, you want a big cargo ship for this. I use the C2 because it's great for those large quantity hauls. I don't think you'd want to do this in something like a Connie. So we've clocked in at 4 minutes and 35 seconds. It's a slight increase from the multi-tool. Those 10 seconds could be great, could just be a result of my poor work on the multi-tool. Now we're ready to poop out these boxes. Again, same strategy, throwing them at the back, trying to hit that lip. The boxes seem to wiggle their way out. The time difference between the max lift and the multi-tool is huge. We've already finished throwing them all down at 2 minutes in. Wiping the butt. Straight out of the airlock. Here we go. I actually had positioned things poorly, so this is going to take a little bit longer than it would if I positioned the Reclaimer in a better way. But as you can see, we're still saving a considerable amount of time. The extra power of the max lift and the rotational capabilities, it just makes it too good. So it's 6 minutes and 47 seconds, we're sending down the freight elevator. One of the problems that we have here is I actually messed up the recording. I didn't get the Atlas. Let's just say, instead of using the Atlas to load the ship, take it out, use the max lift instead. It was a complete mess. The way the Atlas works is so weird. It did not work at all in the Reclaimer. Part of the messed up recording, I forgot to press start on the record for the unloading for the Atlas, but I did manage to start the timer. So the time it took to take the boxes from the hangar floor to the freight elevator, that's what we're capturing here, and it's pretty damn quick. We've clocked it at 1:47. So, let's take a good look at this. With 1:47 on the Atlas unloading from the floor to the freight, we're going to combine the time from before we jump out with the max lift, taking us to 5 minutes 50. It's a minute faster using a max lift and an Atlas. That's all for this video. Stay freaky and subscribe to the channel. Bye.